Hi guys, my name's Hans and this is my 1966 Toyota Stout. I've owned this for about 2 years, this coming April, but I've known the vehicle for about 5 years. It came from the western slope of Colorado originally. From what I know, a friend of mine purchased it and brought it out here to Denver from Silt, Colorado. He let it sit in his shop yard for a couple of years. He, cut the springs on it, removed some leaves from the rear and put some blocks under it, and just really, made it into a super low vehicle that was basically sitting on the bump stops. Eventually he sold it to another friend of ours who drove it to his house and parked it in his driveway and did nothing for it for about another, I would say about a year or year and a half. Through both of their ownerships, this was something I tried to buy off of both of them pretty regularly, but it wasn't until the last owner was moving away to San Francisco and couldn't take the vehicle with him that I was able to get it. When I got it, I did a few things just to get it back on the road. It had no rear brakes at the time, so I did some funky things with the rear brake cylinders to get it to stop. I redid the wiring that was in there just so it had functioning turn signals, brakes, brake lights, tail lights, and headlights. And I drove it around for probably about 6 months, just trying to decide what I was going to do with it. I considered doing some engine swaps and into like maybe a 3S GE, a Beams, red top engine, or a like a 1UZ, a nice Toyota V8. I've always considered it was going to be a Toyota type swap. I then just began to evaluate how I really felt about the chassis of the truck, and it rode like crap, it drove like crap, it was uncomfortable to drive, and it was going to take a lot to get everything going again. All the springs needed to be replaced, all the brakes needed to be replaced, new ball joints, new tie rod ends, the whole 9 yards with this thing, a whole new rear end. And it was going to be really expensive and time consuming to do that if I could find all those parts. So I began considering doing like a chassis swap with it. So I began studying what vehicles that were still in the Toyota family had a similar wheelbase to the Stout. So Stout had a 104-inch wheelbase, and I just figured I could probably find something that was similar in both wheelbase and track that would allow me to just swap the body from the Stout onto the chassis. In high school, I owned a 1997 4runner 4-wheel drive with a 3RZ FE in it, and I was really fond of that truck. It treated me really well, and I loved it, and I regret selling it to this day. So I looked deeper into those to see if that was something that would be a good platform for this, and lo and behold, it was. That generation 4runner and Tacoma, both 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive, were great platforms. So I started just seeking out. I was thinking, maybe I could buy something from an insurance auction that had been wrecked, because I wasn't interested in really using the body or anything. So I began my search, and I put a wanted ad out on the local forum. The forum is Colorado Rising Sun, which is just a Toyota 4-wheel drive local club here in Denver and surrounding area. A guy responded to my wanted ad and with a 1997 4Runner that was you know, had some issues, but was a really good option. And he I think he wanted $1,200, and I think I got him down to $1,100. So I brought it home. It had some valve issues, so it wasn't really meeting the compression numbers that it was supposed to have stock. So I changed out the they're like the valve shims is what they are, and was able to get the compression back up relatively well. I think, you know, eventually I'll need to do a complete rebuild on it, but that's okay. That's something, you know, I enjoy doing, look forward to doing. So I bought the 4Runner and had the Stout, and I just tore both of them down. And what you're looking at right now is, you know, the current state of that combination. So this is the 66 Stout body on a 1997 Toyota 4Runner chassis. It's 4-wheel drive, has a 3RZ FE in it, and you know, I'm about maybe halfway through with the swap. It starts, it runs, it drives. I drove it around the block, but you know, it still has some stuff that needs to be done. It's looking pretty good though, and I guess from here on out I'm gonna take you guys on for the ride with it. Try to update my stuff periodically as I work through the project. You know, this is about 6 months into the whole deal. It's January 2020, and I bought the 4Runner July of 2019. So, you know, we're moving along pretty quickly, and this should be a pretty fun project. The interior it's okay. You know, I've done a lot of stuff to it already. When I had it before, it's got a gray dashboard that I've painted, and it's missing the cover and stuff right now, but I put in a headliner that it's kind of starting to sag now, but that's something I could probably fix pretty easily. The you know, the interior's pretty sparse, but it's what you would expect. I'm in the process of doing the wiring right now, and we'll videotape some of that more a bit later for you guys as I start to work through that. The body itself is in, you know, pretty rough shape. The you know, the door has some rust in it. The back of the cab has some rust in it. Obviously, you know, the bed is rough, but doesn't have any holes through the side. This front fender is completely different color. There's some signs that it's actually been cut and grafted back together there, but that's fine. The hood has this sweet patina on it. I love it. I don't plan to change anything about the paint of the vehicle or, you know, any of that stuff. I think it'll be fine as it is. It's earned its character, and I really kind of like it. It's a repaint. It was painted red and faded to orange. It was originally teal green. There's some of the body rust, cab rust there, and the worst part of the bed is right there. That's, you know, the bondoed over and flaked away since, but it's character, it's fun. I had to remove the taillights and replace them with some FJ40 taillights. The Stout taillights are just way too expensive to replace. I think they're somewhere out of Southeast Asia, and they're several $100s, so I wasn't interested in spending that. Yeah, the bed, it's in really nice shape. There's some wiring and stuff in it right now, but you know, no holes, nothing bad. Yeah, that's about it. Cosmetically, you know, it's got some fun character to it, but you know, nothing I plan on changing. Has a cool little, you know, BB hole in the windshield, but it's fun, it's cool. You know, I've got to put some different bumpers on it, and you know, different wheels and tires. I have some, you know, some steelies that came on it. I've painted this one white. I'm thinking, you know, probably go with white with the wheels. And you know, I've got some tires that were takeoffs off of my Lexus LX 470 that that'll fit those wheels, but I don't think I'll drive around with them for very long before I replace them with some FJ40 15-inch wheels and hubcaps. So the things I have to do now are wiring. The clutch, brake, and gas pedal all work. They're all connected to their necessary components. All the shifter works, low 4, high 4, 2 high, all work as well. I've had to make some modifications to the floor to work around the transmission and transfer case and everything, but that stuff I can add metal into and replace, and I plan on dynamating the whole truck out as I move forward. Right now, I'm working on wiring, trying to integrate all of the Stout gauges and switches into the 4runner harness. So I'll be removing all of that mess you see down there, which is the a Speedway harness that somebody had purchased and put on this vehicle before I bought it, and it's a terrible mess of things. So I hope to maybe fix some things up with that and get it all connected to one single fuse box and one main power source, so everything works smoothly and consistently. And it's just, shows the passion and care about the vehicle. I might not want to fix the cosmetic things, but I do like, I do want it to work right for a long time to come. So let's get to work. Let's have some fun here. So I had just started taking apart the switches, so I'm doing most of the wiring harness inside the house. So all I want to do is just take this stuff apart so I can take it into the house and wire it up to its necessary components on the harness. So I'm gonna set you guys down and get going on this. Alright, so just finished pulling out the kind of aftermarket harness that was in here. That was just a mess, You got out the gauges and you got all that stuff tucked away inside now. What I'm going to do now is go into the engine bay and locate the power source wires for the headlights and the turn signals and parking lights. So here we are in the bay, and yeah, I know that these wires are somewhere down in here, so I'm gonna have to remove my old fuse box here. They call it the engine room box in the diagrams, which is fun, and I'll have to move the EGR too, but that'll be pretty easy to do. So yeah, hang out for the ride. Alright guys, so got all that stuff pulled apart now. You know, it's quite the mess. The Speedway wiring harness was just garbage. You know, the fact that it was used a couple of times probably didn't help either. You know, this here is the wiring for the headlights from the factory 4runner harness, and you know, this clump of junk here is the wiring for the Stout. So you know, we got the same thing going on over here, and that's fed all, you know, over to the harness to that right there. So that's what we got. So, you know, now I just need to look at the wiring diagram for the 4runner, since I know what this stuff powers already from the Stout, and you know, make those two work together. So yeah, gonna be doing that off camera, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. Alright guys, so since I still have some daylight and I don't want to go inside and dig up the wiring diagram and do all that stuff, I figured I would move on to the next thing, which is addressing the holes in the floor, I guess. You know, I had to cut right around the transfer case there to allow the body to sit where it wanted to sit. So on, you know, on both sides here, you can see I've had to cut it away, and you know, now that transmission tunnel doesn't exactly sit flush, although put some pressure down on it and get it to sit flush, and I think I'll be able to work with that. Also, where that the 4runner, I guess that shinier black bit is the 4runner steering column kind of shroud, I guess, and then, you know, the rustier piece on the bottom is the Stout stuff. So there's a spot there that's open, and I think I have a piece from the Stout that I'll be able to put in there, and you know, maybe I can figure out how to get them to bolt together, or maybe I can just I'll have to weld it to, you know, this I guess this other transmission or shroud. You know, there's 3 pieces to this, which is kind of cool. Made it real easy, you know. So there's this piece here, and then this piece here, and then, you know, that piece that goes around the column there. And also, back when it was a Stout, there's this cool little window which was used to access the brake, or the clutch cylinder that would you know, engage the clutch so you could bleed it. So yeah, I'm gonna make some cardboard kind of pieces of that, I think. I don't know, maybe might have to clean this up. Yeah, see, I kind of got a little overzealous there when I was trying to get this body on. I just was so excited I wanted it to sit. So I'll live with it now, you know. Alrighty, so yeah. I guess you know, you guys will just watch a time lapse of me trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about this. Alright guys, just got done cleaning that up. I made a template for this one little side here. Yeah, it's gonna work out well. And I cleaned up the other side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this piece out of steel, and then I'm going to tack it in place there, and then I'm going to make the template for this other side here and tack it into place. That way I just know that this side is where it wants to be, and that the other side is where it should be in relationship to everything else. So now I'm gonna go and cut off a piece of steel over here. So I've got to unplug this real quick over there. So yeah, so I'm gonna got this big old chunk of steel here, and I'm gonna just you know, cut off a bit that I'm gonna use. So until then. Alright guys, so got that template all cut up. You know, here it is in all its glory. Fills that space pretty well. And yeah, just gonna tack that sucker in place now. Alright guys, so yeah, I got that first piece tacked in place. It looks okay. Gonna just, you know, do some hammering around it to get it to line up a little bit better once I, you know, get the other side figured out. So, you know, as I'd still clunking around over there. So yeah, just you know, it's getting dark out now, so I'm just gonna pack things up and go inside for the night. Get that wiring done. Hi guys, it's the next day here, and just wanted to show you what the tack was a little bit better there. So yeah, it's coming along. Need to do the other side. Yeah, looking good. Got a lot more stuff to do, but that's it's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna start working on the wiring stuff inside, getting the gauges and stuff all set up, so so I can install that back in here and make sure the headlights and taillights and all that stuff actually work with it all wired up. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. You know, I'm just started this series because I wanted to show my perspective and what I'm working on. It's just a fun project that I like working on. I'm a car guy, a Toyota guy. I really like Japanese cars and trucks and just all vehicles in general. Really weird stuff for sure. You know, I hope you guys like following along with me. If you have any questions about the build, you want to see anything else, just let me know, comment, and I'll be happy to answer those questions, go more in depth on things, and I look forward to sharing this project with you guys. All right, bye.